Hi, and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris, and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, it's going to be really different to the sort of usual videos that we do. I kind of feel a bit obligated to perhaps go into our strategies in how we invest in this space. With everything that's sort of happened over the last week or so. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to go through various different strategies that you can utilize to maximize your gains in the crypto space. I don't kind of feel like there's one size fits all, so we'll go through the strategies as I articulate them. But not only that, there's lots of people that leave their altcoins on exchanges. Now I think that's very risky to do that. I quite often talk about locking up your altcoins or your Bitcoin, for example, on like a hardware wallet, and there is a link in the description if that's something of interest to you. But I think people are missing out on the passive income side of things, the opportunity to maximize your portfolio size. So we'll also go over some of the best coins or altcoins, should I say, to get a passive income from. I'll detail basically if you were to have $1,000 of each, roughly what you would be looking at to receive back over a yearly period. So an interesting video. I think it's very educational. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up that like button. It really does support the channel, and we really do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. So without further ado, let's get down to the desktop and let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start with my Medium article here. I'm not going to go through the whole lot. I will link it in the description of the video, but I'm just going to go over sort of the different sort of strategies that you can use right now. Number one is just to hodl or hold your crypto. This again sort of makes up I guess our strategy or forms part of it, because we kind of use several strategies out of this particular article. I just really wanted to sort of make this really back to basics for people. So hold or hodl, this method basically means you buy and you hold for the long-term investment. This has actually been a proven method throughout the history of this particular market to do you very well. If you bought in right at the very top back in the previous bull run, you would actually be in profit massively right now. So it's actually probably for most people a better strategy than say trading, because there's 90% of traders are unsuccessful over a period of time. The next one is earning yield and staking. So this is again sort of forms one of our preferred methods. We like to buy for the long term, potentially depending on the asset that we're investing in. But we like to also look at altcoins that present themselves with yield opportunities or staking opportunities. Again, this is one of our preferred methods because this really does sort of maximize your portfolio growth, right? Because if you're just sort of building up a position, and you're staking the altcoin, for example, and you're getting like 10-13% APY, then I feel that kind of really sort of starts to build up. There are others where you can get a yield of like 300%, and that's APR. So for me, it's a fantastic opportunity, and I really do like this method. And I like to couple some of these together. In the article, I have covered risks with each of these as well. Then there's the third one that I wanted to highlight, which is kind of all-in investing. And basically what I mean by this is like there's lots of people that are very, very busy. And what I mean is, you've got a 9-to-5 job, but actually it's like 12-hour days rather than a standard 9-to-5. We've got doctors, surgeons, military personnel that invest in this space, right? Lawyers, like bankers. The list goes on and on and on, right? And what I'd say is some of these individuals, they have a bulk load of money sitting there, and actually they haven't got the time to be sort of spending the time looking at the markets and the charts to find the best prices to get into, and they just straight up buy it one bulk order, and they just sit on it and hold it. So that might be, something that works for yourself if you're very, very busy. Then we've got the fourth one that I wanted to highlight again, and this sort of plays into the strategy that we use here at Cheeky Crypto as well, which is dollar cost averaging. And we talk about this an awful lot, right? So for this investment strategy, that includes deploying capital to an investment periodically, such as buying $100 worth of Bitcoin every 2 weeks, for example. So the example that I used here is if you bought $100 worth of Bitcoin every 2 weeks for 5 years, starting 5 years ago, you would have can't get my words out. You would have invested $13,175, and your investment return would have been around 131,750 and 50 cent. So you can see how this really does work, right? It's a smart way to invest in cryptocurrency, and you don't need to worry about the short-term volatility. So this is a fantastic method, in my opinion. I'm really interested to get your views and opinions. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but I think these are some fantastic strategies that you can sort of implement. And then you've got value investing, so another cheeky crypto preferred strategy, and this is kind of what we do on this channel. And I don't think people quite understand this particular aspect. So basically, in a nutshell, this investment strategy is to focus on finding undervalued altcoin projects, meaning that they're actually their actual value is higher than the current value priced in the market. Therefore, over time, you will see an undervalued altcoin really increase in value over time, and therefore create huge potential gains. So for me, this is something that Nick and myself have done an awful lot, with the calls. I mean, we called out Harmony at like 0.5%, VeChain at 0.5%, Polygon Matic at like less than 2 cent, like 1.5 cent or something along those lines, Cardano at like 10 cent. We call out these, but back then they were undervalued, compared to where they should have been. And you can see that when you look at the market now. And we continue to do this. We recently called out Polyswarm as another project. The list goes on and on and on. Now, we call these projects out and we want you to go away and you do research. We're not saying FOMO into any of these projects. What we are saying is go away, do your research. And then if one resonates with you and you see what we see, and you want to make that investment, then you make that investment decision. You should definitely treat this all as educational purposes only, right? We're not financial advisors. So, it's much harder to find these particular undervalued altcoins in a bull market. It's much easier to find these in a bear market. They just stand out much more. But it is still possible to find like a diamond in the rough in a bull market, right? And you will notice that the number of altcoin gems that we highlight has slowed down, and that is because we're in a bull market, right? I know we're in a bear phase right now, but we're still in a bull market, right? So then we've got swing trading. So this is one that I'm not really a fan of, day trading, swing trading. I kind of feel like, it's great if you've got the time and you've got the capital to do it. I feel like you need a large amount of capital in order to be successful with this, just basically taking small percentages, throughout a day. But for me, the majority of people fail at this, and I think there's lots of people here that are in the space that feel that this is just quick and easy money to make. And if that is the case, then everybody would do it, be doing it, and everybody would be successful. But that really isn't the case. I have linked in some articles on some of the data just to back up what I'm saying with this. But I wanted to include it in the article, right? So for me, these are fantastic strategies. I would say that Nick and myself used the dollar cost average in, dollar cost average out model alongside the hodl strategy and the earning from yield and staking. We think that's really important just to maximize your portfolio size. So we use a combination of a few of those different strategies just to maximize the gains that we can possibly achieve. And Nick, people that watch the channel will know that Nick and myself are, very keen on passive income as well. We pretty much stake whatever we can. I do, and I give Nick a hard time. But for me, staking is something that everybody should consider doing. Yield farming and stuff like that, I would just say make sure you understand the risks, associated with that, like impermanent loss and so forth. And the risk with the protocols that you do it on. So, staking for me is my go-to sort of area. But I do see that there's many more opportunities that can be explored. So let's sort of move on to the conversation of the top altcoins to potentially get good staking rewards from. So the first one that I want to call out is Cosmos. Now I've kind of put here $1,000. I've tried to keep it close to this for each project that I'm calling out. So, the total reward rate is 13.91%. And that's annualized, which means monthly you'll be earning just over $11, so $11.43, and your yearly return on your $1,000 would be $139.09. Obviously, this is based on current price, just to be really clear and transparent with people. And that is, the first one. The second one would be Polkadot. Now, this one gets missed off quite a lot, but, the yield is still there. It's very similar to Cosmos in returns. So again, $1,000 that I've detailed here, basing it on the current price, 13.92% annualized. Monthly earnings would be $11.44, and your yearly earnings $139.17. So these projects for me are definitely projects to take a look at and do your research on. The next one that I want to call out is Avalanche. Now, well, I'd say $1,000 again, current prices to base this out. Total rewards rate would be 9.18% annualized. Monthly returns of $7.55. Yearly earnings at $91.88. So I'm doing this by, which one's going to sort of yield you the most as we go through these. But again, I think, these are solid picks. Moving on, and again, another one that gets missed an awful lot. Nick and myself, it's one of our favorites, and that would be Harmony, right? So Harmony staking, we think it's fantastic. We run our own pool, which is the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏 pool. Again, details are in the description of the video. Now, I basically worked out based on today's price how many one tokens you would get, and that is 6,816, and basically this works out to about 20 cents a day based on the current price. Monthly income would be $6.02, and your yearly income would be $72.29. Now, I know what a lot of people are probably thinking here. That seems like, not that much. But what I would say is, out of all of these projects, I think this has the most price discovery. So for me, this is a fantastic opportunity, because I think we're going to see price discovery on the price of the one coin. We will see much more gains than perhaps some of the others. But let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on that. Obviously none of this is financial advice. Now, here's the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏 pool. We have just over 40 million Harmony in our pool. Our return rate is actually slightly higher than detailed on that calculator. We are up there with like the top pools on Harmony. Latest return for the last epoch was 9.51%. So lifetime rewards, we've almost generated 4 million lifetime rewards for our delegators. So fantastic opportunity, definitely one to take a look at. And here's kind of the details on our pool. As you can see here, current sign rate is 99.97, so it's pretty high. Current ERI is at 119, again really high. Last ERI was at 1.21. Average sign is 99.99%, so we're up all the time, right? And then your average ERI is 1.2. So 100% election rate. So we're basically elected on every epoch currently. and we have a decent ratio when it comes to stake weight, right? So, you know, do check out our pool. We'd love to have you as a delegator. Again, another fantastic opportunity to, you know, increase your portfolio. Now, the next one that I wanted to call out was Cardano. I've kind of gone through the calculator here. Again, 1,000 ADA. It would be a little bit higher, but, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, keep it as if it was $1. Let's have a look. So we're basing everything on the standard here. So you would get about 46 ADA a year, which, you know, if we base it as $1 for the price, I know it's under that currently, but, you know, if we say it was $1, you basically get around $46 per year. For me, again, I think it's worth doing. There's no lockup period with Cardano. You know, I think it's about 4.6% is the delegation rewards roughly. Obviously, it's a lottery system, so some epochs are much higher than others, some are much lower than others, but the average over the year would be that 4.6083%. You know, a lot of confusion sometimes when people look at the returns that they're receiving. Now, we do have a Cardano pool ourselves. Currently have just over 5 million in our pool currently. So do check it out. We have a, you know, a reasonable margin, and, you know, there's plenty of you know, space in the pool in order to, you know, get some additional ADA on your actual current portfolio. So do check it out. Now, what I would say is, you know, you can, with most of these protocols, utilize something like a ledger device, like a warm wallet device, to make sure that you've got that extra layer of security. But, you know, I do prefer the staking methods because it's normally safer than the other methods like yield farming, for example, where you've got that risk that somebody could drain a pool and so on. With this, I kind of feel like it's much safer. The actual validators can't get to your tokens or coins. So I think, you know, it's a very safe way to make a passive income. So do let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. Let me know if there's any projects or altcoins that you feel like I've missed from the list. I'm really interested to get your views and opinions. So anyway, I really thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that it was useful. If it was, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.